Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh, jeez.
Sure do.
Yeah. And learn what common words mean that I did not really know or think about my whole life.
Did you go for your morning constitutional to figure out what this word meant?
I sure did. I really thought it was something totally different. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Perfect.
I mean, I think I knew what it meant. I don't think I knew specifics of
we'll get to all of it.
We'll get to how stupid I am.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay. I think I was probably closer.
Yeah.
Just given my interests. Okay.
I think you were.
Try to make you feel slightly less stupid by the end.
All right. Well, I'm Kenyon.
Oh, I love you, Kat.
I'm Lucy.
I'm Amanda.
And we have a very special fan pick this week brought to you by Jill Mueller.
Mm-hmm.
And Jill has selected the topic Bad Barristers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is because Jill is an attorney and she is married to another attorney.
That's wild.
And they have all their attorney friends, and she likes alliterations.
Yeah.
Aren't barristers also railings in home?
We'll get to it.
Oh, my God.
That's a banister.
Banister.
Oh, my God.
That's not the one.
But actually, we will get to it.
Great. Okay, good. Good.
Okay.
See?
Wow. Okay.
Bathtubs are made out of teeth.
Okay. Fair.
We've all
Fair
had
enough.
our moments.
We've all had our moments. None of us took the LSAT or could have gotten into law school.
Oh my God.
So
we should take the LSAT online for free, like a quiz for funsies, and just see what happens.
I tried. I went through the
fucking course you did.
I went through the early 20s identity crisis. I don't know what I want to do with my life. Studied for the LSAT for 2 months. Did not great on a bunch of practice tests, and then was like, I hate this. I don't want to do this.
No.
Bye-bye.
Turns out this was a horrible mistake.
Yeah. I was like, even if I succeed at this, I don't want what's on the other end.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can't wear pumps.
Oh,
I can't do it.
My heels would be destroyed. Torn up.
Any whoozle be. Okay, Amanda, what is our wine crime pairing for Bad Barristers?
Today, we are drinking Winc's Matchlock Cabernet. Oh, God is good.
So
God
good.
is good.
I forgot all about that.
It's simply the best. I'm obsessed with it. I'm going to keep that on my soundboard for today's episode. This is the 2020 Matchlock Cabernet from our friends at Winc Wine Club, which, if you're new here, welcome. And I'm sorry. But you should check out Winc. They're an online wine club that delivers wine right to your door.
Mm-hmm.
And if you head to trywinc.com/gals, you can get $20 off your first order.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed. You can order a la carte without a membership, but I do recommend becoming a member for many, many, many reasons. But for example, this bottle of the 2020 Matchlock Cabernet, which is a Paso Robles, California, 100% cab. It is tradish to the max.
Mm-hmm.
Retails for $20.99 or $21 on Winc's website, but if you're a member, you get it for $18.99.
Great
Think of the
savings.
savings.
They add up. All the
They
wine
do.
is good. It's really good quality. The bottles look fun and cool. You can bring it to dinner parties and people will be impressed.
There's
It's the best.
there's nothing, you got nothing to lose. This is a medium-bodied Cabernet. It's oaky. It has some of that dark fruit to it. It gets its oakiness because it is barrel-aged. It finishes nice and dry, which I love. I like a cab that's kind of like, black cherry and like a little butterscotchy on the front of the palate, and then just finishes with a nice, clean, dry, no afterbirth.
Ish.
She clocks in at 14.1% ABV, and she is a popper. So if you're looking for a tool to pop open your wine with, look no further than wineandcrimepodcast.bigcartel.com, where we still, I believe, Lucy can correct me if I'm wrong, have our limited edition iridescent XOXO, the Wine and Crime Gals wine keys, which are like above and beyond amazing. They're
sure
very
do.
sturdy.
And get
Okay.
your mitts on these soon because
Yeah, we're
I
not
don't
ordering
think we're
more.
going to order anymore.
No,
Yeah.
and frankly, I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite of our wine keys that we featured so far. Something
It's
about
hefty.
like it's hefty. It's got a great hand feel. It's got a good grip. It's just
It's iridescent.
Like, it's gorgeous. Even the screw is also iridescent. Like every little detail. But this is also just gonna last you. Like this thing is not going to bust on you. I'm obsessed.
Makes a great gift.
It makes a great gift. It makes a great gift for yourself. Treat yourself. So, are we ready to pop this Bad Barrister open?
Ready?
Let's do it. Oh, yeah, I'll put that on. She's back, baby! God, it's so fucking good.
So good.
That
It's
needs to be
Anyway.
your ringtone.
really satisfying.
I do need to make that my ringtone. I'm going to start Googling that. Anyway, cheers. Next. I have work to do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just Googling how to make the Matchlock theme my ringtone.
Well, while Amanda takes care of that important business, Lucy, what is our background and maybe psych for Bad Barristers?
I do have psych for us today.
Yay.
It's been a while. So, to clarify with Amanda that a barrister and a banister are not the same thing.
Fine.
A
They
barrister.
both look great in a wig, though.
We'll get to the
wig on
wigs.
anything.
That's a barrister. You can hang your hat
exactly.
on. Yeah.
Okay, a barrister is a type of lawyer in common law jurisdictions. Barristers mostly specialize in courtroom advocacy and litigation. Their tasks include taking cases in superior courts and tribunals, drafting legal pleadings, researching the philosophy, hypothesis, and history of law, and giving expert legal opinions.
Okay, that makes sense. I think I thought that they were more like judges. So it wasn't that stupid. I think of the wigs.
Right.
We'll
And
get
I think-
we
yeah.
will get to the wigs.
And I just think of the wigs being like reserved only for judges,
No.
but they're not. It's like
Yeah,
there's
well,
a hierarchy that
there-
you'll get to.
there is a hierarchy.
Yeah.
So barristers in the U.S. would be called trial attorneys. Barristers have two professional functions: to give legal opinions and to appear in court to represent their clients. So here's where your banister comes in.
Love it. Here we go.
The word originates from the days when there was a wooden bar or railing in the courtroom itself, which marked off the area where the judges sat, or where the judge sat, and where the lawyer had to stand next to the bar when pleading his case.
Aha!
I cannot believe that Amanda has just been justified in this way for one of the more bonkers.
I am, what's the one where I'm an
Perennial.
etymologist.
Savant.
Per annual.
I'm an etymologist. An anthropological etymologist.
entomologist.
Wait, isn't entomology bugs?
Yes.
That's why it was jokes.
Oh, see, I can't get the jokes because I was worried I just fucked it up again. I'm too sensitive.
You're just really unsure of yourself, and it cracks me up.
But like only with words and nothing else.
Right.
Yeah. So the expression "to be called to the bar" is commonly used in England to denote somebody who has become qualified to act as a barrister. Although the word barrister is not used in the U.S., all lawyers in America have to be members of the bar and to register with the Bar Association in order to practice. And also another fun fact, the Italian word barista, pronounced similarly to barrister, denotes a person who pours drinks at a different kind of bar.
I'm just going to start calling them barristers.
Yeah.
Barista.
Oh, I got a new barista down at 5 watts.
She's just not getting my order right.
She doesn't know
She
my
does
order
not
yet.
know how to make a lavender latte.
This tastes like almond milk, ma'am.
I ordered soy.
I am oat milk presenting. Clearly.
Obviously, I'm an oat milk.
I'm on the oat milk train for sure.
Okay, so lots of like legal jargon and like differences, but it's my understanding that a barrister has less direct contact with their client than would an attorney or a solicitor. And since there are clearly a couple of terms that we don't typically use in the U.S., let's clarify. A solicitor is a qualified legal practitioner who is responsible for preparing legal documentation in the run-up to and during a court case.
That
Okay.
almost exact quote is in my case too, because I didn't know what that meant. I was like, you going
got you.
door to door selling
No.
Bibles?
You selling
No.
knives?
So a solicitor provides specialist legal advice on contentious and non-contentious work to their clients on a variety of areas of law. So basically, a barrister mostly acts on behalf of their clients in a courtroom setting, whereas a solicitor is the one
Hands-on.
who does most of the preparation behind the scenes.
So it's
So
like how
barristers-
there are like
Paralegals and shit. GPs
Kind of, yeah.
and there are surgeons and they're all doctors, but only one of them is gonna cut you open.
Kind of, yeah. But this also brings us to the hierarchy with the wigs.
Yes.
So solicitors don't wear wigs, barristers do wear wigs, and also judges wear more ornate wigs.
Remember in...
Yes.
No, you don't, because you've never seen it. In Parks and Rec, when Leslie gets a barrister's wig for Ben and has him put it on, because she thinks it's going to be really sexy, and then it's just like horrifying and disgusting. And she's like, no, take it off. That didn't have the effect I thought it was going to have.
No. Rewind.
Not sexy. Not sexy.
I was watching some British show recently, of course.
Really?
Don't say.
With Michelle Dockery from Downton Abbey. And she plays a barrister in this show. And I didn't realize that, like obviously I knew they wore wigs and whatever, but I kind of...
Women wear them too?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Cool.
And apparently they each have like their own wig. Like you would have like, you know, your briefcase or like your nice pen that is like yours, whatever. And they like keep them in little lockers at the courtroom in like little hat boxes.
Yeah, you don't want to sully your wig.
Yeah.
Well, we will get to the wigs portion.
Yes.
Obviously, you know where our interest
I
lies.
only care about the wigs. Skip to the wigs.
Most of my segment is about the wigs.
Thank God.
Okay, so to wrap this up, solicitors can obtain what's called rights of audience, which enables them to represent clients in the court, but they need this special qualification to be in the courtroom.
Got it.
So this means that solicitors can now perform many of the functions of a barrister up to a certain point, although barristers are able to work in a significantly higher level of court than their solicitor counterparts who may or may not have this rights of audience. So both a solicitor and a barrister would just be called lawyers in the United States.
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of governments around the world use barristers, including Australia, Bangladesh, Canada, France, Germany, Hong Kong, India, Ireland, Israel, Jamaica, Japan, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Nigeria, Pakistan, Poland, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, and the UK.
Dang.
All over.
Yeah.
In court, barristers are often visibly distinguished from solicitors and other legal practitioners by their apparel. For example, in Ireland, England, and Wales, a barrister usually wears a horsehair wig,
That sounds so itchy.
a stiff collar, bands, and a gown.
Love.
Since January 2008, solicitor advocates have also been entitled to wear wigs, but they wear different gowns.
Okay.
Love it.
Entitled to wear wigs as of 2008.
Love it.
Oh, I went down a wig rabbit hole, a
I love
peruk
how
rabbit hole.
wiggy the world is outside of the United States.
I
We are
know.
not wiggy enough.
No, we're not.
Well, it's kind of like school uniforms, honestly. It's like, I guess you just take everybody the same level of seriously because they all
Well,
like look the same.
We
You're not
will get
distracted.
to all of this. Okay. We're fixated on everything that I'm gonna cover.
I love it.
So, why the fuck do modern day barristers still wear these outfits? You may be asking.
Because they're awesome. Next.
Many judges and barristers would say that wearing the wigs, the perukes, bring a sense of formality and solemnity to the courtroom. Quote, in fact, that is the overwhelming point for having them, says Kevin Newton, a Washington, D.C. based lawyer who studied law at the University of London.
I mean, that's why I wear a wig.
Right.
It's for the
The
solemnity.
solemnity.
Yeah.
So this is from howstuffworks.com, Amanda's favorite website.
Yes.
Like the robes the lawyers wear, the wigs are worn as a symbol of anonymity. The wigs are part of a uniform that create a visual separation between the law and those being brought up before it. Wigs are so much a part of British criminal courts that if a barrister doesn't wear one, it's like an insult to the court.
It's like in My Cousin Vinny when he didn't wear the proper suit and he was held in
Right.
contempt of court.
You don't show up to court in cargo shorts.
Barrister wigs are curled at the crown with horizontal curls on the sides and the back. And if you want a visual for this, in On the Drive, which will be on the blog, I have a photo that compares a barrister's wig to a judge's wig.
Oh my.
Okay.
So in contrast, the judge's wig, also called bench wigs, they look very similar, but they're typically more ornate. So they're fuller at the top, and then they transition into tight curls that fall just below the shoulders. God damn it, this is so
Wow.
ugly. I can't.
Yeah,
I
they're
love-
really, it's a very rough era for the wigs
be stuck on.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
They
It's
look
like
very
extremely uncomfortable.
Beethoven-y.
yeah, well,
I love the style.
they also
It's-
just plop them on their heads. Like there's no effort to like hide the real hair.
No, it's kind of like a
necessarily.
hat.
Yeah.
So most wigs are handmade from 100% horsehair, though there are synthetic versions available today as well. Horsehair wigs aren't cheap, especially when they're handmade and combine an ages-old craft of styling, sewing, and gluing. A judge's full-length wig can cost more than $3,000.
What
my
the
gourd.
fuck?
While the shorter
mean-
ones worn by barristers cost more than $600. So this is why they only have like one or two.
And then they
keep
lock it
them,
up.
they carry them around, and like
Yeah,
it's their
you
work
can't-
hat.
Yeah, you can't just throw it in your purse. It's
Yeah.
too valuable.
Do
Nope.
not fuck up your work hat.
3,000 are they? And they personally have to shell out for that. Basically, that's a financial barrier to becoming a barrister, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they raise the money or how well they're paid in these
Maybe
different
when
countries.
they're hired at a firm,
They're
get
like granted a wig.
they get like a wig.
your first
stipend.
wig is free.
yeah.
a wig stipend. I don't know.
If you know, get at us.
yeah, I'm curious.
I need to know the
We
logistics
only
of the
wanna
wig
know
stipend.
about the wigs.
Yeah.
So many courts have done away with the wigs, rightfully so,
Boo.
including
Shameful.
those in Australia, the Scottish Court of Sessions, and civil and family courts in England, but specifically criminal courts in the UK still have them. And there's a reason, and this is from The Guardian, quote, "The wig is a very important part of the criminal justice system," says James Mulholland, QC, a senior barrister with more than 30 years' experience and the chair of the Criminal Bar Association.
Who's heavily invested in horsehair.
Yeah.
Yeah. In his
All of his money
portfolio.
is tied up in horsehair. So he cannot let this go.
And he goes
He'll
on to
lose
say,
everything.
He goes on to say, because barristers are independent lawyers fighting for an individual and putting their case forward, they have no personal interest in the case. So the wig emphasizes their anonymity, their separation, their distancing from the person who's on trial, and also from...
Well, in my case, we will get to when that goes wrong.
Well, we
I
are
can get
talking
behind
about
that,
bad barristers, so...
Yeah, I can get behind that sentiment, though.
It kind of does make sense.
Yeah, but there's more. So John McNamara, who specializes in defending criminal cases, agreed, saying that wearing a wig is generally popular even among his younger peers. Quote, I'm probably the first to acknowledge they are a bizarre thing when you look at every other job, but I'm very in favor of them.
I do feel like if it was just the robes, though, that would probably still have pretty much the
would
same
suffice.
effect.
But I kind of like the tradition. And I like how, because in the U.S., your legal representation comes with so much of a reflection of like class and status.
Yeah, how much you can afford.
Exactly.
And how much
And
they, in turn, can afford.
Correct. And so this, in theory, kind of reduces that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's more reasons, which I'm trying to get to.
We got time to explore these wigs.
We're just chiming.
So these wigs can become very uncomfortable in a hot courtroom and are awkward to carry everywhere, he says. But when he first meets a client, he likes to be wearing his wig and gown, quote, because I feel that it gives them a sense that I'm a professional doing the job in the same way that you have reassurance with a doctor with a stethoscope.
Exactly. Like,
In
how often do
scrubs.
they really even use the stethoscope? Probably not that often, but it just looks good.
And then to Zoe Chapman, a barrister at Red Lion Chambers, wearing a wig has occasionally been helpful in ensuring that she's recognized, quote, and I know some of my, I have never heard this term, BAME. I don't know if they say BAME or BAME, but it's basically like saying BIPOC in the US. So it stands for Black, Asian, and Minority Ethnic. So she says, and I know some of my BAME colleagues report being repeatedly mistaken for the defendant, for example, at court.
Or like a secretary or like a family member or what, like
Right.
just anything
Not
other
the
than like
Not a lawyer.
the fucking status and career that you've worked so hard to achieve.
Yep. So she goes on to say, if you don't meet the physical stereotypes of a barrister, male, white, perhaps older, it is helpful to wear the uniform because it stops any awkward conversations.
I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So there are a lot of reasons, but I do agree that maybe just the robe would be enough, but whatever.
Maybe that's what I'll go for Halloween as this year, a barrister, because I have the George Washington wig and I have like my graduation robes.
Done.
Yeah.
And it'd be comfortable as hell.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got a costume.
Great.
Good for the pregnancy.
Yeah.
So lawyers tend to be, this is my psych segment. I'm segueing. Lawyers tend to be goal-oriented, competitive, results-driven, and intentional, maybe a bit detached and type A. Because kind of like how surgeons are, it's really helpful to compartmentalize. So we've talked about a lot of doctors are actually clinical psychopaths because they can just put all that shit aside. 'Cause it's a very emotionally draining job.
Yeah.
So, for these reasons, there are some pervasive health issues that exist in the lawyer and legal community. The American Bar Association posted this article that I read about the findings of a recent study of 3,300 law students from 15 different law schools. And the survey found that 25% of law students are at risk for alcoholism. 17% of law students suffer from depression. 37% report mild to severe anxiety, and 6% of law students report having suicidal thoughts in the last year.
Yikes.
Wow.
Another devastating finding is the culture of secrecy that surrounds substance use among law students. So, quote, law students will not ask for help, says Bree Buchanan, director of the State Bar of Texas Lawyers Assistance Program and the co-chair of the National Task Force on Lawyer Well-Being.
Casual.
So she
Not
goes,
important
Rolls
at
off
all.
the tongue.
Yeah. Quote, they are terrified of somebody finding out that they have a problem, which will result in their not being admitted to the bar or not being able to get a job. It's really about the stigma that attaches to this issue.
Yep.
And the outlook didn't improve for practicing lawyers after law school.
Yeah, look at Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, Jesus.
He's melting.
I'd rather not.
I will look at anything else.
I would look at a gaping anus.
I was just going to say, show me a gaping animal anus.
A
instead.
baboon butthole.
I love it.
Just
I'd welcome it.
drooping. Okay.
It would have just as much of a justification for January 6th.
God.
Yep. Okay, so more than 13,000 working lawyers responded to the survey and reported that 28% suffered from depression, 19% had severe anxiety, and 11.4% of practicing lawyers had suicidal thoughts in the previous year.
Well, dang.
Quote, at some point in their career, 11.4% felt that suicide might be the solution to their issues, says Buchanan.
It never is.
No.
Task force members were surprised to learn how much substance use and abuse, depression, and anxiety were affecting younger lawyers. So she says the younger the lawyer, the greater the rate of impairment. But the good news is the older the lawyer, the rates of depression and substance use they decline.
I wonder how much of that is just related to like how fucking overworked
Yeah.
like young entry level lawyers are treated. I mean, like, I feel like the hours are terrible. You can be like called by a partner at any time of day or night and be expected to work. The work is like the worst shit. You're basically hazed for like the first 5 years of your career.
Well, this specific task force and the studies that they came out with, like they actually created solutions to all of this. It's really interesting, and there's a shitload of information. But basically, to wrap this up, the task force generated 44 practical recommendations directed to various legal stakeholders such as judges, regulators, law firms, law schools, bar associations, professional liability carriers, and lawyer assistance programs, all in an effort to change the culture and discussions surrounding attorney well-being. And if you would like to learn more about this study and resources for help, you can check it out at lawyerwellbeing.net.
Cool.
All right.
So
Thank you for that.
there's my little dose
resource.
of psych. We got wigs, we got psych, we got it all.
And no lawyer dad jokes.
No.
I'm shocked.
I'm also shocked.
I do have a joke.
Oh. Well,
But
why
all
did
the-
you have to remind her?
all the-
Ian?
I was going to save it to the end, but I'll just say it now since he reminded me.
Great.
How
great.
does the moon cut his hair?
I don't know.
Eclipse it.
Oh.
How is that a lawyer?
Yeah, how
related?
is
It's
that
not. I don't like
Oh.
lawyer jokes. I think they're all bad.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
as a okay. Next,
What do you get? What do you
Sponsor
get?
break.
What do you get when you find a lawyer buried up to his neck in sand?
Finish the job.
Not enough sand.
Yeah.
Oh, ish.
Oh.
Okay.
I know that's what all the lawyer jokes are like.
Yeah.
They're fucking dumb.
Okay.
Well done.
Sponsors.
Next. You know, we talk a lot on this show about our value system and what we believe in. And sometimes, you know, making that apply to like every facet of your life can be overwhelming. But when you stick by what's important to you, it shows up in like everything you do. And Everlane is committed to doing the right thing from start to finish. So that means partnering with responsible factories and ensuring every piece of clothing looks and feels great for years to come. Like, say goodbye to fast fashion, say goodbye to, you know, inequitable creation of fashion, and say hello to Everlane.
Oh my gosh, Everlane it's changed my wardrobe dramatically. So like Amanda said, it's like trend proof. I mean, they have really, really cute clothes, but it's not something that you're just going to wear for one season. And so that cuts down on textile waste. It's better conditions in the factories. It just has a huge impact on the entire industry. So you have the right to know what the actual price of making your clothes is. Everlane shows you the cost behind the production of every piece, from materials and labor to duties and transport. They are completely transparent about this.
Yeah.
With Everlane, you get designer quality without the designer markup. And I just have to say, I have 2 specific sweaters from Everlane, and I love them. And it's not sweater season anymore, but like
sometimes I'll just crank the
them.
AC in my house just to put on my Everlane sweater.
Like actually, it's really luxurious feeling. It is worth every penny because not only is it cute and comfortable and it's going to last you, but as we've said, the ethics in Everlane's just entire business model is something we can really get behind.
So if you want to do things differently from your core to your closet, shop Everlane. Go to everlane.com/gals and sign up for 10% off your first order. That's 10% off your first order when you go to everlane.com/gals and sign up. Everlane, helping people live their best lives with the least impact on the planet.
When they say that mental health is a journey and not just a destination, they really mean it.
Yeah.
And that is why it's important to prioritize your mental health and wellness every day, because when you work on yourself, it brings positive changes to all areas of your life. The long-term effects of therapy can give you the tools to deal with challenges as they arise, strengthen your relationships, and give you a more positive outlook on life. And there is no better time to invest in yourself than right now.
Honestly, it's the most worthy investment you can possibly make. I have been using Talkspace since 2016. Things happened around that time that required Talkspace. And, you know, there are times when I need it a lot more frequently, and there are times when I can go a few weeks without having to check in with my therapist, and just knowing that she's on the other end of that app gives me so much peace of mind. And having that, you know, third party who only has your best interest at heart, that you can like, you know, walk ideas by and unpack some things that might be stressing you out. I mean, I'm getting married.
Yeah, it's a lot.
My Talkspace app is going to be working overtime. And Talkspace is the #1 online therapy platform that has thousands of licensed therapists trained in over 40 specialties, including anxiety, which I have, so check. Depression, check.
Check.
Relationships, check.
Check.
And more, check. So your therapist can help you set and achieve your goals. It's seriously incredible, and it's so affordable. Talkspace is a fraction of the cost of in-person therapy. So instead of waiting for an appointment, you can also send unlimited messages to your therapist 24/7, and they will engage with you daily, 5 days a week. I mean, it's like a complete game changer.
Yes. And as a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com. Make sure to use the code GALS, GALS, to get $100 off your first month and to show your support for this show. That's GALS and Talkspace.com. Treat your brain.
Treat it.
Are we ready for my case?
Yeah, because I found a barrister's wig on Etsy for under $4,000.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, how under?
$150.
That's too much
Okay.
for a joke gift to Julian. No. I mean, if you want to personally buy it out of your personal money.
A $40 one, but it's very synthetic, so I'm going to keep digging. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
I'll just send the chat all of my findings.
Okay.
Okay, so my case was recommended by the fan. It is not out of the UK. So,
Boo.
But as we know, barristers are all over the world.
yeah.
Mine's also not out of the UK. So
Mine's out of the US, but it's interesting and it's giving Martin Shkreli vibes.
Ew, okay.
Yeah. So bear with me. Okay. In 2009, Jennifer Ritta was living in Manhattan and working as a defense attorney or barrister for a top law firm called Lankler, Siffert, and Wall.
Okay.
Also
to the window,
rolls
to
off
the wall.
tongue.
In October of that year, she was sent to meet a new client at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, MCC, in Manhattan. Usually the firm specialized in white-collar crimes. It was kind of like a fancy Manhattan law firm. But even though this client had been arrested for drug possession and dealing, he could afford top representation. Specifically, this client was Cameron Douglas,
Diaz. Sorry.
son of Michael Douglas.
Oh.
Oh my God, I was way closer in my joke
I
than I
know.
ever thought I would be.
I know. You're just really almost
I'm
nailing
on
it.
it today.
You're
I
really
am
almost nailing
an
it.
entomologist.
Bannister. I cannot believe that you were
Etymologist.
really accurate about that.
I got that mixed up. What if I had just done an entire case about a railing?
Oh my God.
Next time I'm going to lean into it and just do that. Who
Okay.
would care?
So the client, the person in jail seeking a defense attorney, is Cameron Douglas, son of Michael Douglas and his first wife, Deandra Morell Douglas. And also he is the grandson of Kirk Douglas. And there are lots
Wow.
of just random photos on the drive of all of these people. So you can get a
Fantastic.
sense. And like Kirk Douglas lived to be 103, I think.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. He hung on for a while there.
It's too old.
So Cameron,
I know personally that is too old.
Cameron had his own short-lived movie career, appearing in films such as Mr. Nice Guy with Jackie Chan and National Lampoon's Adam and Eve.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That IMDb is sparkling.
But by age 21, he had begun accumulating a record of drug-related arrests. His first couple arrests were for relatively minor infractions, mostly possession of cocaine, but in small enough amounts that it wasn't like that big of a deal.
Just a couple of quick don't you know who I am.
Yeah.
Don't you know who my father is?
Don't you
We'll
know
get
who
out
my
of that.
father and grandfather are? But
Yeah.
And
My
how
father
old
will
my
hear about this.
grandfather was.
there were also some incidents that Cameron didn't get caught for, but he would like later tell the press about, including, quote, once at a Hollywood motel, he pulled an air gun on the petrified old lady manning the front desk and demanded she open the cash register, and it had a single $20 bill in it. And
Oh my God. Put her through all of that for
Mm-hmm.
$20 fucking dollars.
So he has some
Issues.
very severe substance abuse issues. So this 2009 arrest was different. He was arrested by DEA agents at the Meatpacking District's Gansevoort Hotel, which I have stayed in.
It's a nice hotel.
It is. And he had
Fit for a Douglas.
yeah. And he had half a pound of crystal meth on him.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of meth.
Because he was found with such a large amount, he was charged with intent to distribute, which
Yeah,
carried...
that's like 2 barristers' wigs worth of meth.
It's a lot. There's actually a photo on the drive, not of his meth, but of half a pound of meth.
Okay, I'm
On
gonna
a
go
scale.
look and see
Couldn't fit that
exactly
into
how
a
many
wig.
barristers' wigs of meth. Oh wow, you can make a lot of wigs out of that.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know how much you use in one go, but I feel like
At
it's a
least 2
small
wigs.
amount.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
the Kirk Douglas Speedo photo is really great. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I really needed that.
You're very welcome.
This irrelevant and
Oh, my
perfect
God.
photo.
I know.
Jesus.
Had to include it. Had to.
Had to.
She's wearing so many
Pivotal.
clothes compared to him.
I know.
Okay, so he's charged with intent to distribute, which carried a minimum prison sentence of 10 years and a maximum of life. Especially because he had other drug convictions on his record. Jennifer Ritta was part of a team of defense attorneys that the Douglas family hired to help Cameron avoid this fate. She would later recall that when she arrived at MCC to meet her new client, one of the first things she noticed was that he had a large tattoo on each forearm. These tattoos read tick and tock,
He invented TikTok.
but the lettering was such bad quality that she initially read them as dick and cock.
Incredible. Oh, I see it. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. So there's
I
a photo.
accidentally slept with a guy who had a tattoo in similar.
They really look like dick and cock.
Yeah, they really do.
Because it's like weird, overly wrought script.
It's too much.
And I think he has face tattoos of his dad and grandpa on his belly.
I'm obsessed. He
Oh.
also looks a lot like his dad.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's kind of freaking me the fuck out, actually.
The thing about like full chest tattoos is like then they just kind of avoid the male nipple.
Yeah.
And then
And then the nipple is extremely prominent.
Yeah.
Oops, all nipple.
I don't like it.
Fucking gross. Oops,
It
all
is.
nipple.
Oops, all nipple.
Oh, no.
Don't like it.
That's the focal point.
Yeah.
Really
Only,
drives the eye.
It's a target.
Only one of these nipples is really.
They're both pretty prominent.
I think it's just the photo. I think it's the lighting.
light,
my
yeah.
God.
Because,
Oh, I'm zooming in. Whoops.
Oops, all nipple.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's gross.
And one of these portrait tattoos fully looks like Johnny Depp, the one on the left.
Yep, a little bit.
So it's supposed. And then is that like an Illuminati?
Yes.
That's the fucking like
Butterfly?
dollar. No, the pyramid off of
pyramid
like
with
the
the
dollar
eye.
bill. Everybody
Oh yeah,
connects that
like
with the
above his
Illuminati. Above his
TikTok.
donger. Yeah. His dick dock. His dick cock.
Dick doc. Yes, it says
Above his dick cock.
it is that, and it's being cradled in two hands right above his,
Two skeletal hands.
and it says
Yeah.
says timeless.
Can you
over it.
imagine being like
Lord.
in your 20s and troubled and going to your
I mean, yes. So far, yes.
famous millionaire nonagenarian grandfather and being like, Grandpa, I got
What
a
a sick
tattoo
ink I
to
got."
honor you. You're gonna love it. And it's just
Johnny Depp.
his face on your stomach.
Oh my God.
Oh
so
my God.
gross.
Anyway,
I found
okay.
This
better
is how I'm gonna honor my
pictures of
mother.
this. I found better pictures of these tattoos. I'm gonna drop
Drop
them
them on the
All
drive.
right, put them on.
A very nipple centric one too.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so this attorney, this barrister, Jennifer Ritta, goes and meets him and sees the tattoos. In their meeting, Douglas began complaining to Ritta about the tailoring job that another inmate had done on his prison jumpsuit, which had been too loose for him. The other inmate had successfully fixed it, but he had used giant stitches in white thread, which Douglas believed made him look, quote, like a baseball.
Wow.
Because that's obviously a top concern when you're
these are
facing
serious
life in
issues.
prison.
Yeah,
I
I'd
love
rather
it.
not look like a baseball.
If I'm going down, I'm not going down in this outfit.
So Ritta took this conversation to heart, and when she arrived for their next meeting, she brought him a brown Sharpie for him to color the stitches so that they wouldn't be as obvious.
Amazing.
Also, baseballs have red stitches, but like whatever.
Right?
Yeah, this guy doesn't even fucking know what a baseball looks like. And you know what? Neither did I.
Banister.
Anyway, back to banisters.
So she would later reflect on this moment by noting, quote, I've just demonstrated to my client that his extra legal needs are my concern. Tending to Cameron's hems is the very first step in my criminal journey.
Ew, is she going to fall in love with him?
Probably sounds like it.
Oh, God. No, he's so gross.
Mm-hmm.
You are a barrister. You can do better.
And she's really pretty. She has like a career and she's pretty. I don't get it. She kind of looks like Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Amazing.
Okay. So further steps in her criminal journey involved becoming so attached to Douglas that she would visit him at MCC every single day, which is
Ish.
definitely not fucking required for her job, and began to confide in him about her personal life. For example, telling him that she had broken up with her boyfriend because he didn't want children. And also like, pick me, I'm single.
Oh, this is getting messy. It's getting sloppy.
So Douglas had a girlfriend at the time, his former personal assistant, Kelly Sott, but Ritta felt that he seemed indifferent about her. So just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score.
Oh, my God. But it's just going to make her want to try harder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So this girlfriend, Sott, was unable to visit Douglas at the correctional center because she too was serving a 7-month prison sentence for trying to smuggle heroin to him in an electric toothbrush while he was on house arrest.
Listen, that's love.
It's not
Love
that
in a hopeless place.
Well, heroin. I guess you could. I don't know. I've never done heroin, so I don't know how much a lot is, but I feel like
I don't think you need a whole lot.
anything in an electric toothbrush.
Well, I
don't
think,
know.
I don't think it would have lasted him very long, but any
Gotten a little
fix is a
fix, yeah.
fix. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, these wigs are so disgusting that you sent to the chat.
They're incredible.
Hold on, I gotta look.
We're getting the $4,000 one. If we split it 3 ways, I bet if you buy in bulk, it will save
Yeah.
money.
All right. Get at us if you would buy Wine and Crime barrister wigs for $3,000 off
We'll
of
add
our
them to the
website.
store. Yeah.
And no, you would not get a 10% discount.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so Rita too would soon fall under Cameron's spell. Her self-described criminal journey culminated in a decision in January of 2010 to smuggle some Xanax into MCC to give to him.
Ugh. Honestly, that's a good girlfriend.
But it's,
It's
not a
stressful
good
and-
defense attorney.
No, but it's stressful in prison.
So Douglas had been complaining to Rita for months that he was being denied Xanax by MCC doctors, despite the fact that he had a prescription for it. But the doctors were like, yeah, you're Michael Douglas's son and you are a drug addict and we don't
We can't
care.
give you Xanny.
Yeah, we don't care that you have a Xanax prescription. That's part of your problem.
Yeah.
So Rita had grown increasingly sympathetic to his plight
Yes. To his dick cock.
as she noticed during their meetings that he was often drenched in sweat or broken out in hives from what she believed was anxiety, but
It's
could have also been fucking withdrawal. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
withdrawal. Which is very anxiety inducing.
Right. Like, obviously, him having a drug addiction is not
No.
his fault.
Right.
But like we say, it is his responsibility, and her enabling that
Correct.
addiction is
She could kill him, frankly.
fucking lootly her fault.
Yeah. She could super kill him with what she's doing.
So she had some Xanax at home from a previous prescription that she hadn't used, and she began by smuggling 2 pills into the facility to give to her client.
In her butt?
No.
Fine.
She transferred the pills to her client by surreptitiously placing them in a pretzel bag
Yum.
that she then passed across the table, and Douglas scarfed down the pills along with the pretzels.
Okay, snacks and Xan. This is like the best day.
Don't glorify Xan.
I mean, I take Xanax and I love it.
I do too, and I love it too.
Oh my God.
I don't take it recreationally.
Right.
I take it to function.
Well, in 2 subsequent visits, Rita smuggled in a total of 30 more pills.
Shit.
So at that point, you're fully fucking dealing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he
You're
could
a
be
mule.
dealing those Xanax pills to other prisoners for other shit.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
why wouldn't he? That's like
I would.
survival, baby.
So on these occasions, she placed the pills in a party balloon,
Yes.
which she managed to pass off to Douglas unnoticed, and which he was able to hide in his rectum to
There we
retrieve
go.
later.
There needed to be a rectum.
There had to be.
So soon after these contraband handoffs, Douglas' case finally went to trial. He was sentenced to 60 months in prison for meth possession, and the judge ordered him transferred to a medium security prison in Pennsylvania. So somebody
Probably
else-
going to limit his access to his legal team a little bit.
Well, you'd think, but she's fully in now.
Oof.
So the day before he was scheduled to be transferred, Rita went to say goodbye to her client, and as she was leaving, blurted out that she loved him.
Oh, it's so romantic.
She left that day thinking her feelings were unrequited. However, Douglas's transfer was postponed by 1 day, and when she returned to see him one more time, he too told her that he loved her.
Oh my God, it's better than The Notebook.
She would later describe how he then got out of his seat and said, quote, and she said of him, quote, "He seems taller, greater than when he was sitting across from me, and when I thought his arms said dick and cock."
Yes,
might have added
standing
that
up
last
will
part.
do that.
Yeah, he was so much taller
When
standing
he
up.
stood up. Yeah. Wow. She's in deep.
He then
I don't love Bill this enough to say any of those things.
no.
No.
Because
I'm
it's
marrying
not
him.
love. Like, you're in love. She is infatuated with the grandson and son of movie stars.
She is not well.
No.
Yeah. He then grabbed Rita and kissed her, and she kissed him back.
Oh my god. Okay, but I do need the movie.
And the
of this.
guards are probably like, what the fuck? I thought this was your
No
lawyer.
touching. Fucking stop.
Oh my
Ick.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, no touching.
Let me see those pretzels again.
Hands where I can see them.
So Rita decided that she was not ready to let the relationship go, and after Cameron Douglas was transferred, she continued regularly communicating with him by phone. And then in early July of 2010, she traveled to Pennsylvania from New York to visit him, and the couple shared their first real meal together.
Good Lord.
Sandwiches purchased from the prison vending machine.
Love.
Gross.
I
Egg
love
salad.
it. Ish.
Warm egg salad.
Room temperature week
3-day-old,
egg
yeah.
salad.
God.
And then they shared their first mad dash to the prison toilet. Like a true wedded couple.
Then on July 26th, 2010, so a few weeks later, Rita got a rude awakening. Literally.
Oh,
She
no.
was awoken at 6 a.m. by Department of Justice agents knocking on her door. They were there to question her about some statements Douglas had made after he had been recently busted for drug possession while in prison.
You don't say.
Upon questioning, Douglas sang like a bird,
Like a canary.
revealing that he had, quote, gotten into a relationship with one of his defense attorneys and that she
He
had
fell pregnant with one of his defense attorneys.
Gross.
and she had smuggled Xanax to him, which he shared with other inmates.
Yup. Listen, anything to barter with.
Rita would later say of the early morning interrogation that, quote, even though I know why the agents are here, I'm still in shock. I have stepped out of my body and am watching this exchange happen to someone else. Like, no, bitch,
You just got caught.
you did all of this.
Yeah. Are you surprised?
She went on to say, quote, it was a heavy slap in the face. Cameron did not only lie and mislead, he actively, willingly placed me directly in harm's way.
Fucking duh,
Yeah.
you idiot.
He's in prison.
This is she's so stupid. I
Yeah.
love it. I love how dumb she is.
At first, it seemed like the situation for Rita would not be as bad as she initially suspected. Authorities agreed to go easy on her if she would help persuade Douglas to testify in a trial against the two drug kingpins that had supplied him with the half pound of meth that he was
Okay.
busted for at the Gansevoort.
So give us more names and
Give
we'll,
us the bigger fish and
Yep.
we'll let your defense attorney
Yep.
side chick go.
Yeah.
But soon, one of Rita's worst fears came true, and her story was leaked to the press. The New York Post had a field day with the sordid story of the famous actor's deadbeat son and his smitten defense attorney. They published numerous stories about Rita smuggling drugs into the prison in her bra, a detail that she insisted was untrue.
I would never.
Because the underwire in her bra was constantly setting off the metal detectors, and it would have been a terrible place to hide drugs.
Oh my god. Is that actually what she said?
Like, not word, like paraphrased, yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Instead, she simply carried them in her pocket.
Well,
Oh
right.
my God.
Because that's a much better place to hide drugs.
Listen,
It is.
clearly it worked.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
My God. At least one news source was somewhat more sympathetic to Rita, noting that, quote, glossed over by the sensationalists at the New York Post is the fact, and like the New York Post absolutely fucking sucks, but
Well, yeah.
you know, broken clock can be still right twice a day, is the fact that Douglas had a prescription for anti-anxiety medicine and an order signed by a federal judge commanding the BOP to administer the medication. The BOP's response to this order was, meh.
That's my favorite response.
It's just, I mean,
What are you gonna do?
yeah. Like, no, this man should not have been given Xanax in prison. Clearly.
It worked out great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nonetheless, Rita was fired from her job, although somehow fucking not disbarred,
That was going to be my next
Really?
which
question.
I don't know how.
Oh my
wild.
God.
Douglas was brought in front of a federal judge as a result of his prison drug possession, and he showed no mercy, noting, quote, "I don't believe I have ever encountered a defendant who so recklessly and flagrantly and wantonly and criminally acted in such...
And another thing.
And another thing, acted in such a manipulative and destructive way as Mr. Douglas has." The judge ordered that Douglas serve an additional 4.5 years in prison, nearly doubling his original sentence.
Dang.
Good.
They're not fucking around.
Yeah. Cameron Douglas read a brief statement in the courtroom aloud at his sentencing in which he stated, quote, he was struggling to stay abstinent from self-medicating myself.
Okay.
Which is a very roundabout way of saying I'm struggling to
Doing
stay
drugs.
clean
Right.
in prison.
Oh.
Wow. God bless him.
Like he clearly from that sentence
Is a mess.
Is
He's
not-
a messy boy.
is just not ready to even acknowledge that he has a drug problem.
Struggling to stay abstinent from self-medicating myself.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going to sound swole?
How can
Struggling,
I
all right.
turn
Yeah.
every word of this into a euphemism? So he also sent a letter to Jennifer Rita, which began, quote, "I love you and I'm sorry."
I love you, Cat.
After being fired from Lankler, Siffert, and Wall, Rita began teaching at St. John's University School of Law, which I think is like not a bad law school. I don't know how this woman landed on her feet. However, she soon decided to move away from the legal profession and went back to school to study legal anthropology, urban studies, and criminal justice. In 2015, she published a memoir about her experience titled Criminal That I Am.
Wow. The drama.
She claimed that she wrote the book, quote, not to clear her name, but to walk through her progress from a domino effect of unending shit of her own making to finally accepting what she did. It's like, okay, if it's a mea culpa, it's still a cry for attention. Mea
But I can
culpa.
respect that.
But sure.
Someone who is constantly crying for attention.
She remained in touch with Cameron Douglas.
Well, duh. You don't forget your first love.
He even contacted her to ask if he could live with her after his 2016 release from prison.
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
He didn't, I don't think. Thank
Damn
God.
it.
But she insists that their relationship is now purely platonic. So they just had that one kiss
Wow.
and those pretzels and those sandwiches.
I just love that she like crushed Xannies into pretzel salt and just put them on the pretzels. That's how I imagine she did it. It's probably not how she did it, but that's what
I think
I'm
they were
going
just loose in the bag.
with. That's even better.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys.
What?
So I'm obviously playing Animal Crossing right now. I have a barrister's wig.
Yeah, you do.
Oh my God, I'm wearing it.
Put it on.
It's
Take
on.
a picture.
Yes.
I'll get to my favorite spot on my island.
Good girl.
Okay. So Cameron Douglas also published a memoir after his release titled Long Way Home. He now has 2 children born in 2017 and 2020, so he did not waste any time after his release, with his girlfriend Vivian Thebes, a yoga instructor whom he met soon after his release. And there's a photo of their little family on the drive.
Cute. They're so happy.
I hope. I don't know. I hope. Rita writes melodramatically in her memoir of the relationship between them. Quote, bound by our wrongdoing, our agreement to stray from a virtuous path is etched in stone.
Wow.
For better or worse, and no matter what will happen next, we will forever be known as partners in crime.
Ew.
She needs to write for soaps.
Yeah, girl, no, you won't. He doesn't.
I forgot this the moment you finished it up.
He was a person with an addiction in prison, and you were a connection
enabled
to
him.
the outside who could get him a fix.
Right.
Yeah.
Purrid.
You were used.
Purrid.
It's over.
You're not. This isn't a Bonnie and Clyde.
No.
The mind is boggled. I cannot.
I also love that the New York Post link, the headline is, I made out with my client and smuggled him drugs. Oops.
Oh my God, I came across that also.
So, like, yes, the Post is trash, but that is a good headline.
Yeah, every once in a while when they're not actively harming people,
Right.
it's funny. Oops. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is that. I hope that everyone stays away from each other and is doing better now.
Yep. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's take a quick sponsor break and then we'll get to my little story, which is not nearly as salacious as this.
Oh.
Are people still trying to make plans with you this summer? Like, haven't folks gotten the hint that
Oh my God.
I'm gonna cancel all of my plans? I mean, I'm busy.
I'm busy.
I'm booked. I'm just gonna have to tell everyone I know to try again in the fall because I've got pool days and hiding inside and also wedding planning. And I do have a beach vacation on the Jersey Shore. So I do have a lot. It is a lot. But thankfully, MeUndies wants to help make this summer the most comfortable one you will never forget. Because when you're living your best life, the last thing you want to worry about is butt sweat.
Oh, don't like the butt sweat.
Do not like it.
I'm also not a thong gal.
No.
So, like, I want my bum to be covered.
Yup, I
But
want it
also-
covered and I don't want my butt to be like eating my underwear all day.
Oh, no.
The worst.
Stop eating my underwear. Drop it.
Drop it. Bad butt.
So when you're comfy and feeling good, you're more present to enjoy all your summer plans. It's science. It's a fact. It's just it's a law of the universe.
A chemistry occurs.
Absolutely. MeUndies has the lightest and most breathable fabrics to keep you cool and comfortable wherever you go. My entire underwear drawer has been replaced with MeUndies. I love it. From undies, bralettes, and socks to loungewear and a swimwear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a miracle. Love it.
You can find something for all your plans. MeUndies also releases new prints all the time, like their limited edition Pride collection. So stinking cute. I love all of their fun patterns.
So cute.
You can even match with your partner, friends, even your dog. They know what's important to you, and you want to match with those you love the most.
It's so cute.
Find your ultimate summer comfort in sizes extra small to 4XL.
Seriously, they have everything. MeUndies has a great offer for our listeners as well. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off. So for a limited time, if you sign up for their free-to-join MeUndies membership, you get 25% off your first membership item. So to get 15% off your first order, 25% off your first membership item, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/gals. That's MeUndies.com/gals and treat your butt.
Trade it. I really like getting compliments.
Yeah.
Like a little Tinkerbell over here. I just want
Yeah.
the applause.
Hi.
It just feels good. And every single time I wear my Rothy's out of the house, every time I will
Without
get
fail.
a compliment.
Yep.
It's really actually kind of bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever just seen someone wearing a colorful pair of flats and thought, oh, gosh dang, those are cute?
My gosh, those must be Rothy's.
Say, Might have been Rothy's. Rothy's are the perfect shoes for commuting and traveling. Everyone notices them. They're my go-to travel shoes because you can throw them in the washing machine when they get gross.
Yeah, I feel like a celebrity at the airport because you walk through the airport and everybody's like, where did you get your shoes? I love your shoes. Are those Rothy's? Oh my gosh. And then if you find other people that are also wearing Rothy's, you do like the boat wave where it's like, yeah, we're both wearing Rothy's. We know what's up.
Oh yeah. It's a community. It's a camaraderie.
It is a community. I have so many pairs of Rothy's. They come in so many beautiful styles. I have like little ankle boots. I have the sneaker. I have the loafer. I have the round toe. I have the Mary Jane. I have sandals. I have Rothy's for every single outfit. Mm-hmm. And it's actually really funny. I was recently traveling to, oh my gosh, I think I was going to a wedding or something. And I brought a pair of heels and a pair of Rothy's. And I was like getting ready to get dressed and I put the heels on and then I immediately was just like, absolutely not. I'm not going to wear these. I'm going to put on my Rothy's because they are way more comfortable and they go with every kind of outfit. So it was like, obviously I'm going to choose comfort and cute and not be miserable all night. They're amazing. You slip these shoes on and there is no break-in period. They are automatically comfortable. And then after a whole night of dancing at a wedding and your feet get all narcy and sweaty, you take them home, you pop them in the wash, and they look good as new.
They're also made from recycled water bottles.
They're literally a miracle.
You can feel good about every aspect of Rothy's. So your new favorite shoes are waiting. Discover the versatile styles you can wear absolutely anywhere and get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/gals. That's ROTHYS.com/GALS for $20 off your first order and treat your feet.
Treat 'em. Care of believes that you deserve to feel your best this summer and frankly all the time. Like it's been a rough couple years. Let's get back to feeling good. From getting outside to enjoying your favorite seasonal dishes to taking a mental health break, Care of is here to help you take care of yourself all summer long. Tell us more, Lucy.
Oh my God. Care of is a subscription service that ships high-quality personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders conveniently to your door every month. So you just go to their website, you take a short, in-depth quiz about your lifestyle, your health goals, etc., for a personalized recommendation, taking the guesswork out of what supplements are best suited for you. So you can take their quiz, you can say things like whether you're open to kind of more traditional, like Eastern medicine, if you've ever tried, fish oil before, if you have any allergies, all this stuff. And then they give you your personalized recommendations, and they also just give you a very black and white, this is what it does, so you're familiar with what you're getting. Because if somebody just says, oh, you need more magnesium or whatever, it's like, okay.
Yeah, like really? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So they're very good about being transparent of exactly what you're getting and exactly what it does. So each shipment comes with a customized booklet showing you exactly what's in your individual little daily packs, which, by the way, come with a little motivational quote.
It's so cute. I love it.
They're really cute. And also why these things were recommended specifically for you and your health goals. It is very educational. It's very simple.
It couldn't be easier. They make it so simple for you. And you know that I'm like the biggest vitamin noob, but like I don't know anything. And I've been rocking on the Care of train for a while. So if I can do it, you can.
Absolutely.
So for 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code GALS50. Once again, for 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code GALS50 and treat your wellness.
Trade it.
All right. Are you ready for my case?
Does it involve nipples?
I assume the folks involved have them.
Okay.
This is a pretty recent case, so we don't have to go too far in the way back machine to get there. Okay. Only a hop, skip, and a jump to 2021.
A great vintage of hell.
And this case is not that exciting. The only reason I picked it is because all the headlines sounded like one of these jokes. So here we go.
Eclipse it.
Pretty much. A barrister, his wife, 2 solicitors, and a legal executive walked into a bar in Hong Kong. Well, not so much a bar as walked behind bars.
Oh.
Because what this motley crew got up to got them into some big trouble.
Oh. Oh my God.
Also, basically all of my sources are translated, so please know that I likely cannot answer your follow-up questions.
You don't speak Cantonese?
I do not.
An
also-
oversight.
Right. Also, one article that I found that looked like really good and detailed would have cost me an upfront $100 payment for a year-long subscription to like Hong Kong Weekly.
No.
So no, fully fuck that.
No. I learned the hard way. Hong
Yeah.
Kong Weekly is not worth it.
I believe you. So in 2020, young, talented, well, earlier than that, but this is kind of when this like sort of hit the news. Young, talented, up-and-coming barrister Devin Xiao Chan-in sold a property that seemingly belonged to him located in the Tu Kwa Wan area of Hong Kong.
Okay.
And I believe Devin is his anglicized name that he adopted while he was studying for his law degree in the UK.
Okay.
But Devin hit a snag, then he is addressed as Devin in like all of the articles and I believe in his court records. And I also found like his, I am actually a lawyer, like this is me taking the bar receipt basically. And that also had Devin on it. So that's why I'm using the name Devin.
Degree?
I mean, no, but there's like a registry.
Well, I mean, Hong Kong, there's a lot of English happening in Hong Kong as well. So a lot of people will have an anglicized and a Chinese name. Yeah.
I'm just saying that this is how he was addressed everywhere, so I'm going to continue to do so.
Okay.
I am just going to refer to diplomas as receipts.
Receipts. I have receipts. But Devin hit a snag after the sale of this property when it was marked for redevelopment as part of a revitalization of Winc Street in To Kwa Wan in 2019. So he was like trying to sell it. I guess he hadn't successfully sold it yet. And then the area where this property was actually going to be part of this like neighborhood development program. And so the government was purchasing these properties. So the government had been attempting unsuccessfully to contact the owner of the property for nearly a year when they finally received a call from someone who claimed to be commissioned by a new owner of the property. The original owner of the property, which had stood vacant for some time, had died over 20 years prior, and this individual on the phone was claiming to be the new legal owner.
Okay.
Suspicious of this arrangement, the government authority overseeing this new build project poked around a bit. What they found was a syndicate led by Devin and consisting of his wife and two solicitors, which I was confused about what that title meant. Mm-hmm. And so I included it
Two
here.
people trying to buy sex on the street.
Pretty much. A solicitor is a lawyer, as is a barrister, but they just specialize in different areas of law, basically. Quote, solicitors represent and defend clients' legal interests and provide advice in many situations, for example, giving expert advice on everyday issues such as buying and selling homes and dealing with relationship breakdowns, helping businesses with commercial transactions, etc.
They'll help you with your breakup? Amazing.
Like your divorce.
I was just joking.
Oh, okay. It sounded really sincere. Wait. I can hire a solicitor to help you with my breakup. So anyway, the syndicate also had a legal executive and other members peppered throughout legal, financial, and real estate positions to help create fraudulent documents of ownership to sell properties as well as use properties as collateral for high-value loans.
Oh, so Devin's in the shit.
Uh-huh. So the investigation found the syndicate had committed fraud over 7 other vacant flats, so 8 total, which were between 44 and 84 years old. So they were all like older homes between May of 2020 and April of 2021. So they were like really going for it in that year.
Yeah.
Including 5 properties whose owners had been dead for at least 10 years. Sources said some of the victims had also migrated. So either like the properties were essentially abandoned and people didn't, it was kind of a gray area as to who was supposed to be maintaining them.
And so they were just like, okay, we own this now. Here's some made up documents.
Yep. So the group targeted old and empty properties in To Kwa Wan, North Point, and other places on Hong Kong Island. Superintendent of Commercial Crime Bureau Lee Mo-yin said the arrestees allegedly stole, and this is in Hong Kong dollars, $62.7 million by targeting idle properties and selling them using fraudulent documents.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Hong Kong real estate is notoriously absurdly expensive, like some of the most expensive in the entire world.
Yeah. It's a highly populated and condensed area, too, so it makes sense.
I feel like a lot of it's pretty corrupt. I mean, there's a lot of room for corruption.
I mean, maybe those prices have gone down since, the Chinese government took it back over and repressed everyone, but I don't know.
I doubt it.
She added that one of the properties involved was used to defraud the URA. So this is that revitalization project that actually was what discovered all of this, because all of these other sales were just like legal for the buyer, and they were just like people buying the property. This was a government agency buying the property, and so they were like, this doesn't sound right.
They needed to do more due diligence.
Yeah, we need like legitimate documentation that you actually own this property, and this is what they found.
Especially imagine if you're building like a skyscraper and then you find out that like this one little corner of it in the middle,
you paid out, $10 million to this fucking asshole who just defrauded you. Yeah. So the quote, the Urban Renewal Authority had been unable to reach the owner of the To Kwa Wan flat after listing the flat in its redevelopment projects in 2018. It wasn't until September of last year that a person who claimed to be the new owner of the flat contacted the authority over the resumption of the flat. So he'd had it for a few years under his name. He was kind of laying low. It, like, almost all of these properties that they purchased were so old that mortgages and were essentially paid. And all they really did was like get documents that ownership had been like transferred to them. So they're not paying a bunch of money on these properties, and then they kind of just bide their time and then sell them and make a penny. So when this URA project popped up, he was like, this is my moment to sell. Like, there's going to be good money in this. I'm going to broker this deal. So the syndicate targeted aging buildings and properties that were long empty and conspired with law firms and financial companies to run its fraud scheme. So folks on the inside were whipping up documents, approving loans, and looking the other way in return for a portion of the payout. And they used fake ID cards and approached law firms to claim they had lost their flat deed and needed them to be reissued. And so then the reissued deeds could be used to apply for loans ranging from $1 million to $9.5 million in the largest single like collateral-based loan that they got, or simply selling the homes outright without the consent of the original owners, who were either dead or had just moved away so long ago nobody fucking knew where they were. So they even sent people disguised as the original owners to negotiate with home buyers. It's like wigs, always wigs.
Oh my God.
There are so many wigs in this episode.
So many wigs in this episode. And lie to them that the property had either been foreclosed on or was simply like abandoned and available for mortgage applications. This part I kind of follow, but also like finance is not my thing. So this is apparently just how the scheme worked. Once the new buyers paid for their homes, the law firm would use the sum to repay loans at financial companies like the middleman on the mortgage and absorb the remaining balance as profits for the syndicate. So they would get whatever's left over after like the mortgage is paid. So fortunately, the unsuspecting buyers of the homes were not forced out of their homes because they, on their end, had obtained these homes through legal means. And most of the original owners, like we keep saying, were either dead or had moved away. So they were just
really,
like,
Devin and his group are kind of cheating the government.
Correct.
Yeah.
In that sense, it's a victimless crime. Because like the people of these, they were like finding properties that were already abandoned or whatever. They're not doing like what we talked about in last week's episode with like the Moorish sovereign citizens, where they're like stealing your house
and then selling it out from under you.
It. Exactly. They weren't doing that. They were just committing some very high level fraud. NBD.
Okay.
Like, not a big deal.
Love it.
Very high level fraud.
Yeah. So the syndicate consisted of 8 men and 4 women aged between 30 and 64 years old, who were said to have conspired to use fraudulent documents to impersonate as owners of 8 idle properties. They were all arrested and charged with conspiracy to defraud, and the arrested persons included 3 barristers and solicitors, 1 legal administrative clerk, 5 financial company employees, so like people who can help with the loans.
Mortgage lenders, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and 2 account holders. So I think one of the quote-unquote account holders is his wife, who he, at least for one of the properties,
put it under her name.
Had transferred to her name.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So he brought the wife into it too. And she also got arrested. which is fabulous. So the government seized the sale and purchase documents of the properties involved, all of the loan application documents, the bank documents, so on and so forth. Like, they really did create all of the legitimate documentation.
There was a paper trail because
there were
the fraud.
receipts.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
They did a really good job. If he, I think he just got unlucky, frankly, that this ended up being in an area that was getting revamped by the government, because I think he could have gone on a lot longer without being caught.
Yeah.
If he was still continuing to sell to just
think
private.
about when each of us bought our homes and we just, like, we don't know what's happening. You kind of...
You're like not supposed to know anything about the people who
Tell
lived
me
there
where to
before
sign. You have like a 60-page document. You have to sign every fucking page.
Yeah, and you're supposed to read that and understand what it
Absolutely
says.
not.
Are you kidding me?
Did we talk about the person who, like, on their driver's license or something?
The cat face?
Oh, yeah. Somebody did they did like a cat face, or somebody else did like a heart to dot the I or something. And then, like, that is your legal signature. And so on their mortgage documents,
They had to put
Draw the little cat
every
face on
single
every
time.
fucking page.
Oh, man, that's good. I'm going to the Social Security office immediately.
To
So
change
as
your
for-
signature.
Yeah, I'm going to just change my signature. I'm not going to change my name. I just want to incorporate a cat face. As for sentencing, I am not sure how that played out, since this came to light within the last 2 years and it's post-COVID and it's not a violent crime. They may still be awaiting sentencing, or they might have just been, like, given hefty fines and some probation.
Well, they
Or, like,
had
order
enough
to
money to
return
pay
funds.
them. $62 million.
Yeah, I'm sure they had to turn over a lot of cash in the end of this, but I actually don't know if they ended up going to, like, prison. But if anybody knows, if we have any listeners in Hong Kong who can tell me what's going on here, I would love to know how they're doing, because this was a really good operation until the government got involved. The government always ruins everything.
So it would
Truly.
it would be about $8 million US dollars.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
62 million Hong Kong is about eight-ish million US. Wow. Did you go to time money converter? Or
I
just...
didn't need the time part, so it was much easier.
Oh, true. True.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's my case. I just had to pick it because all of the fucking headlines sounded like a guy walks into a bar joke, and I loved it.
A lot
So
of
I went for
barristers
it.
and solicitors.
Yep.
And they wear wigs in Hong Kong. So
I love it.
So we
Well,
nailed it.
I don't think Devin's going to be slapping a wig on anytime soon.
Oh, Devin.
Unless his cellmate
Yeah.
wants him to. So thank you to Jill Mueller for this topic. I
Yeah.
feel like there are always good stories about bad lawyers out there.
We hope you're taking care of your mental health, Jill.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed.
It's a rough world
with-
out there.
Yes, that's very rough, and I'm obsessed with that Cameron Douglas story. I am.
I'm
I-
obsessed well
with
and
oops all
is
nipples.
abstaining
nipple.
from self-medicating himself.
Yeah. Best of
I just
luck.
really want to see the movie adaptation of Michael Douglas's disgraced son.
National Lampoon's Adam and Eve.
National Lampoon's disgraced son.
Disgraced adult son.
Adult son.
Wow. Okay. Gotta go write that script. Love you all. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Kala Yip. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Editing by Jonathan Camp. Check out our website and blog at wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wine and Crime Pod. If you have questions, answers, or recommendations to share, email us at wineandcrimepodcast@gmail.com. Episodes are available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, basically wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And if you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. It is the best way to spread the word. If you'd like to show your support, visit our Patreon page to keep this podcast and the wine flowing. Cheers.